Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another wonderful round with Slipstream Racing. I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, aka The Real High, and we're going to see 10 drivers take to this amazing racetrack that is known as Interlagos. The track was renamed in 1985 to honor Jose Carlos Pache, a Brazilian F1 driver who won his only Grand Prix at Interlagos in 1975 but tragically died in a plane crash in 1977. Founded in 1940, we've got 15 corners, 5 to the right, 10 to the left, with 134 feet or 41 meters of elevation change. We're headed to none other than Sao Paulo, Brazil, folks. And it's time to get a little bit twisted. Without any further delay, let's get right over to the racing action and see what the drivers are up to for the qualifying. And we'll do a little bit of a recap of what we saw last week. Four drivers already into the 107 markers, all running the C4 compound. Cody Lawrence at the top of the charts, Anand Trivedi in P2, Ryan Earl in third, Matt Chevry in fourth, Trent H in fifth, Cody Fowers running in sixth, Jaden Neal, James Shorter, Pete Rader, and Twisted Jack not setting their indicative times yet. Anand Trivedi comes down pit road, and we'll see what he decides to do. 15 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in this qualifying session, so plenty of time for the drivers to get a new pair of boots and run some more improved lap times. Optimum grip, yes, but we're only at 99% in grip so far. Track temperature is 28 degrees, ambient being 19 degrees Celsius. 4 kilometers per hour is going to be the crosswind that the drivers are facing right now. Recap of what we saw last week. It was Ryan Earl, aka Flip, taking P1, getting those 25 all-in points out of himself. And then Cody Lawrence, no longer the unstoppable man, in P2. And he got silver medal there. 18 points given to Anand Trivedi for his attempt. He's running in 9th place right now in the championship. 15 points and 4th place given to Jaden Neal, Trent H in 5th, Pete Rader in 6th, Alan Toast in 7th, James Shorter in the following position, Cody Fowers, Matt Chevry did not start, Edwards, Jack, Hokie, and Spump not taking to the start either. Championship standings right now, as Jaden Neal throws down a 106.895, best over Cody Lawrence, Anand Trivedi, who are still rocking the 107s, but just on the cusp of getting down into the 106s. Let's check out Ryan Earl as he gets to the line. Will he be able to improve into the 106 range? He gets to the line. What is that time going to be? 106.698 is the new time to beat for the drivers on the grid right now. Very close at the front. And there's another 106.818 thrown down for Cody Lawrence. So back up into P2 for him. Jaden Neal in pit lane. And Trivedi still rocking and rolling, trying to do his thing. But he is out on track at the bottom part of the circuit. Come around turn 4 now, and turn 5. We'll keep an eye on his lap times. Twisted Jack comes down pit road. I believe that's Cody Fowers also coming down pit road, or is that Pete Rader? Pete Rader driving the only other baby blue car out on circuit right now, so that must have been him. Here is Mr. Trivedi right now. Let's see what he's got in the cooker as he comes around turn 10 and turn 11, setting himself up very well for the back stretch of the course, where it is pretty much flat out from here on out. Coming around turn 12, 13 the kink, and turn 14 another kink. never-ending left-handers, and he cuts all the way over to the green painted line, and he cuts over as far as he can. 106.741. He'll snatch away second place and the second spot on the front row. Looking at the championship standings, it's all up to Cody Lawrence to throw it away. He's got 97 points to his name. Jaden Neal running in P2 with 74 points. Ryan Earl in third place, but it's awfully close between himself and Trent H. 57 points to him and 55 to Trent H. 43 for Pete Rader. Matt Chevry with 37. Colin Edwards with 33 in 7th. Twisted Jack with 27 in 8th. Anand Trivedi in 9th with 24. Dave Shorter in 10th. John Hokie in 11th. Alan Toast in 12th. Spump in 13th. And Cody Fowler is running in 14th right now. We have Interlagos, this race, and then we have Monza coming up on the 18th. And that will conclude season 10.5's championship. There's 2 more races to go to decide who's on top and who's on bottom. Matt Chevry coming to the line, looking like a 3/4 second improvement for himself. He finds a 106.773. That's pretty darn good around Interlagos. And up into third place for himself, Pete Rader. Getting to the line, he's finding around half a second right now, doing pretty good. When he gets to the line, that should be down into the 106s. Also, Pete Rader, no slouch of a character, goes up to P3, bumps everybody back, including Matt Chevry and Cody Lawrence. And that's a 106.759. Cody Lawrence improving by around 2/10 as it were. Saw a little bit of lap traffic. Hopefully that doesn't distract him too badly right now. And he's fluttering right around 2/10 of a game. That should be a 106.6. Will that be good enough for the pole position? I'm not too sure right now. He's fluttering right around that 2/10 margin. We'll have to see where he gains or loses any significant amount of time. Look at that entry into that corner. He's doing a good job coming down into turn 12 to use all the track that he bought and paid for, getting all the way out to the green painted lines and cutting across again to the green painted lines on his entry towards turn 1. That is pole position with a 106.599, tied with Ryan Earl. Identical times being thrown down right now. That's pretty darn impressive from the drivers right now. It's quite impressive. Absolutely nothing separating Cody Lawrence from Ryan Earl. Let's see if Trivedi can improve here. He's got about a 10th in his pocket. Does he get any faster? Just slightly faster with a 106.738, but he's still about a 10th and a half back from Ryan Earl and Cody Lawrence, who've set now identical lap times on the grid. 8 minutes and 20 seconds to change that up, though. Look at how many drivers we have into the 106s. We have a half-second gap from P1 down to P7. That's pretty darn impressive, to say the least. These drivers are definitely stepping up their game as they get more comfortable with these VRC cars. And it's been 2 seasons of running these vehicles now, and on a variety of tracks as well. So the drivers are really getting accustomed to the way these cars handle their grip, their characteristics, their tire pressures, and as well dialing in their setups. But Fowers cuts across the line now with a 109.266 on the C4 compound. That'll keep him 2.6 off the good from the leaders. And we'll see if he gets spun up again and rolling in the right direction, or if he decides to rope around the pit lane and take that as his final lap time. That will not be his final lap time. He will go rolling again out of T2 now. Here comes Pete Rader gaining another 1/10 of a second or so on his personal best. If he can keep this up, he might find himself on the front row of the grid. Well, second row of the grid. He can best Anand Trivedi at least. Get himself closer to Cody Lawrence and Ryan Earl. I don't think there's enough fuel in the tank for Pete Rader. I'm just kidding. There is enough fuel in the tank for Pete Rader to take provisional pole right now. And he goes to the top of the charts, a 106.571. Thrown out by Pete Rader in the Jumpman Tar Heels. Number 23 car finds pole position here at Interlagos. Ryan Earl, can he do any better? He's gaining about half a second right now, cutting all the way over to the pit wall right now. He's going to gain a significant amount of time, 106.262, a new pole position time here in Brazil. 3/10 away is Pete Rader now. Cody Lawrence, 0.337 back. And then Trivedi about a half second back with Matt Chivry, Jaden Neal, Trent H. This is going to be a very spicy race, to say the least, with all these times coming in just as fast as the drivers are. And Jaden Neal gaining a whole heap of time, spins it around, pirouettes that vehicle into a wall. And those tires are going to be begging for a change of underwear. Jaden Neal, as expected, comes down pit road, locks up the tires on the way in, getting the car slowed down as much as possible. Ryan Earl with a 106.262, now new pole position time. He's going to be 3/10 away from Pete Rader. Twisted Jack, the driver, running in 8th position right now in the number 5 AIEA racing car. Getting it turned around and headed down towards 11 and 12. Matt Chivry running in 5th position right now. A man that was in pole position, I believe, for just a blink of an eye until his attempts were thwarted. About his improvement right now. Matt's improving by 3/10 of a second and climbing as he comes to the final corner. Where will this put him on the grid? 4th place, 106.629er. Be good enough for 4th place. 3:45 remaining on the clock, folks. I thought that he was going to teleport to pit lane and call it his best, but I think he's going to come down pit road and give it another shot. Cody Lawrence right now is improving by around a 10. Won't be good enough for pole position, but will be good enough to best Pete Rader's time. We come around turn 10, 11. And this is where Cody really uses as much of the track as he bought and paid for. Charging up the hill through the final pair of corners. DRS wing fully open. Again, going as close to the pit wall as humanly possible. And it is P2, 106.402 for Cody Lawrence in the number 11 Cadillac racing car. Pete Rader just set a new personal best. 106.521. And he'll hold on to third place for now in front of Matt Chabris, who's running fourth. It is 106.629er. Anand Trivedi, 106.738 for him was his best time. Looks like he's calling it quits as he's resting his head in pit lane. I think Matt Chabris is on a build-up lap right now as he's got the Porsche Penske behind him. I believe that would be Jaden Neal. H charging up through turn 4. 107.124 is his time. We've seen Trent be very consistent throughout most of his races, finishing at or around P5 or better. So I'm sure on attrition alone, he'll find himself working his way into the top 5 this race. That wouldn't surprise me. Twisted Jack, 108.313 for himself right now. Here's Trent H getting over the line, 106.992 being his new personal best, 7/10 off of the time of Ryan Earl. 108.086 for Twisted Jack right now. Still good enough for 8th position in front of Cody Fowers and James Shorter. Final laps for the drivers on the racetrack right now. No more bonus laps. Cody Lawrence will get the final say in qualifying as he crosses the line. Jaden Neal doesn't set a new personal best for himself. And a little bit of frustration as he throws the car into the wall. Cody Lawrence with a big tank slapper. And that will do it for the qualifying run. Ryan Earl in P1 over Cody Lawrence in 2nd place. That's your front row of the grid. And I am just noticing we do have a little bit of ballast to be applied during this race. I think we haven't mentioned that before. I am seeing Jaden Neal with 31 kilograms of ballast, Cody Lawrence with 37 kilograms, and Ryan Earl with 15 kilograms of ballast. No other drivers on the grid should have ballast attached to their cars. Not that I can tell, but just something to take note of. Top speed-wise, it looks like Pete Rader might be the fastest in a straight line at 338 kilometers per hour. Next up will be Anand Trivedi at 337 kilometers per hour. And I'm also seeing 338 out of Cody Fowers, 338.92 kilometers per hour. Wowza, these guys are blazing quick around Interlagos, that's for sure, and the lap times are indicative of such. Got 47 laps on the clock coming up in just a few moments' time, folks. So get your beers, get your water, get your snacks ready, because once we start, we won't stop until the checkered flag waves, and we're going to take you from green to checker here with Slipstream Racing. In just a few moments' time, let's review our starting grid in full. We have Ryan Earl in P1 driving the number 14 Aston Martin. In P2 we have Cody Lawrence with Cadillac Racing driving the number 11. Pete Rader, the Jumpman Tar Heels, in third, the number 23. Matt Chevry driving the 16 Ferrari is in fourth place. Anand Trivedi driving the Mercedes Petronas, number 12, is going to be in fifth. In sixth place, we have aptly put the number 6 of Jaden Neal, the Porsche Penske car. Trent H is slowly drifting forward into the safety car, unfortunately. The number 84 is going to be looking pretty snazzy, except for that front wing tucked underneath my DBX. Twisted Jack for AEIA Racing, and sometimes Y. He's going to be driving the Bowes car. Cody Fowler is the number 44, going to be in 9th position, driving the Slipstream Racing car. And James Shorter, last but not least, the number 33 for Octane Esports, is going to be in 10th. And I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, driving the DBX9. And this is going to be the official safety car of Slipstream Racing. Waiting for the drivers to get their setups dialed in before we get rearing and ready to go, folks. "47 laps are on the clock. I'm seeing the drivers already wiggling their wheels left and right, showing us that they're ready. And now the red lights are about to become illuminated. And when they go off, we will go green around Interlagos. And green, 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 away we go. And that's a good start for Ryan Earl, but will he be able to cover off Cody Lawrence leading down and towards turn 1? I think so. Matt Chevry leapfrogs his way up into P3 in front of the Jumpman Tar Heels. Has to take to the runoff road and trying to rejoin as best as he can. He's going to fall down to the back of the grid. Unfortunately, Anand Trivedi charging forward into 5th place and trying to make up ground sooner rather than later. He's 2/10 back from a man named Jaden Neal, who's carrying a hefty amount of ballast in front of him. But can he keep up with that top speed that he has? 3/10 of a gap separating P1 from P2. We're going to keep an eye on this little sandwich right now, because Anand Trivedi is probably going to shake and bake his way down the start-finish straightaway past Jaden Neal and escape the clutches of Trent H from behind, who's closing in around a half a second of a gap. Let's check in with the leaders right now as we come around the final pair of corners. And this is where Cody Lawrence really makes up his time right now. DRS has not been activated yet, so we don't see any major overtaking maneuvers leading down in towards turn 1. Look at how close he gets to the grass before he turns in, really getting a lot of views from that runoff area. carrying his braking power deep into the corner. Pete Rader still in the third place right now. Let's check in with Trevidi and see how he's doing. Still glued all over the rear wing of Jaden Neal, I'm sure with a helping hand of DRS. That will help him out. Oh, and Trent H in the background had a bit of a tank slapper going over the curbs. I think his undercarriage just bottomed out there and needed a little 50-50 grind. Matt Chevry gains the position back and is up into 6th place. A little bit of a battle going on between Twisted Jack and Trent H, and it looks like the move got done as soon as we peeled away from that camera view. Unfortunately, I apologize about that. Trying to keep up with all the racing action that is taking place right now. Seeing a ton of close gaps up on the timing tower, and we're going to have to try to track back and forth between as much of this that's going on right now. 8/10 as Trent H slips back. Let's talk about tires a little bit. Everybody's doing C3 compound except for Anand Trivedi on the C4 compound. And Matt Chevry just sets the fastest lap, a 1:10.1 right now. And it looks like Trent H is coming down pit road on lap 3 already. And James Shorter actually on the C2 compound. Let's see what Trent H decides to do very quickly. Pete Rader and Jaden Neal invert their positions right there as Rader gets passed by Jaden Neal, but is this over just yet? I don't think so. It might be over because he's already down about a second and a half on Trevidi. A little bit diffed by this. He's got a car right in front of him, and he's got Matt Chevry closing down the gap behind him. Trent H is disqualified for disconnecting from the server, so we won't see Trent H any longer. Super unfortunate. The man who typically finishes in the top 5 of any race that he finishes will no longer be with us for the remainder. Down to 9 drivers here at Sao Paulo, Brazil. And Trevidi moves over to the inside line of the entrance for turn 1, gets the move done and dusted, and he's up into 4th place. 1.3 seconds the gap between himself and Jaden Neal. He's got his work cut out for him if he wants to move forward. What about Matt Chevry? He's got DRS wide open. So does Pete Rader, though, leading down in towards turn 4. And Matt Chevry has a little bit of a 50-50 grind himself as he mounts the curb at the exit of turn 4. Go on board with a lap with Cody Lawrence as he looks to the inside line, tries to sell a dummy to Ryan Earl, leading down in towards turn 1 with the DRS wide open around corner 2-3. We're heading down in towards turn 4. Side-by-side action is concluded as Cody Lawrence walks right on by, cuts over to the racing line again, the exit of turn 4. And now we're into 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the U-turn is going to be turn 9. This is turn 9 here. Turn 10 at the top of the key. Turn 11's along the left-hander. 12, the kink is going to be turn 13. That is one quick lap around Interlagos with a pass to boot. Looking back at the rear wing of Ryan Earl in the Aston Martin for just a brief moment, you can see Jaden Neal trying to close down the gap, but he's 1.8 adrift. And then Anand Trivedi another 2.5 back. Ryan Earl tried to go for a move leading down and towards turn one. He's not faster on that previous lap. Maybe he's just trying to sit back, watch and learn from the drivers in front of him right now. Twisted Jack about 7/10 away and closing like a bat out of hell to James Shorter. He's coming down pit road right now, getting off of the C2 compound. Matt Chevry coming down pit road as well. There goes Cody Fowers cutting across the runoff at the entrance of turn 2, it looked like. Twisted Jack still sitting in pit lane. Matt Chevry on his way out on another pair of C2 boots. And Ryan Earl coming around for another finishing lap around Interlagos, but he's still behind Cody Lawrence by 0.3 of a second. Now he's faster than Cody, who's out in front of him right now, but just by a little bit. The rear wing of Pete Rader is wide open because he's within 1 second of Anand Trivedi, who's out in front of him. Oh, change for the lead. Leading down and towards turn 4. Did not expect that one coming. Not by a long shot. I knew he was close. I didn't know he was that close and gonna make a move. Ryan Earl really trying to throw a wrench into Cody Lawrence's plans to escape in the lead of this race, really doing his best to thwart any effort Cody has to fall into his usual plan of get ahead, stay ahead. Cody on the optimum racing line goes super wide on his entrance to T1, makes the move stick, and it's back-to-back passes. On back-to-back laps, Cody Lawrence leads over Ryan Earl, but for how long? Because Ryan Earl's going to stick a wheel along the inside of turn 4. Cody's going to try to go for a switchback, but he might run to the back of Ryan Earl. No, they're just going to be separated by a credit card's worth of distance between them. Battling has allowed Jaden Neal to close down the gap. A driver who was 2 seconds back at one point of the race, now only 1.4 seconds back. Jaden Neal driving the number 6 Porsche Penske. Didn't this man start off in P6? And another change for position for the leaders. Ryan Earl getting past Cody Lawrence yet again. Let's switch over to this because we're on the run down towards turn 4. Ryan Earl trying to give the big squeeze to Cody, but he can't squeeze him hard enough. Cody makes that one look easy on the inside line at the entrance of turn 4. And Trivedi down pit road we go. Yeah, Jaden Neal did start off in P6, gaining 3 positions off the good. Ryan Earl down 1 from where he started. Cody Lawrence up 1 from where he started. Cody Fowers is up 4. James Shorter is up 3. The rest of the drivers are down positions from where they started in this event so far. Looking at pit stops, Anand Trivedi, Matt Chevry, and Twisted Jack have all made one stop so far. There goes Ryan Earl up the inside on Cody Lawrence into T1 now. I thought Cody was going to snap back, but he didn't have the DRS open. Maybe deciding that he no longer wants to fight this battle right now. Because Jaden Neal has closed down the gap from over 2 seconds down to just half a second. And lap time's looking good for Jaden Neal, 109.848 the last lap around. There's always something to be said about being able to see the car in front of you that you're chasing. It's almost like you're given extra horsepower. That's definitely the case for Jaden Neal right now. Ryan Earl, Cody Lawrence inverting positions yet again, leading down in towards turn 1. Ryan Earl looked like he wanted to make a move to snap back towards the inside line, but didn't act on it. Jaden Neal slipping a little further back than he'd like to, I think. Still within that 0.6 margin. DRS is fully open and engaged on the run down to turn 4. A little bit of traction loss for Jaden Neal as he gets on the loud pedal. Coming out of turn 11. .109.7, 110, and 110. For the trio at the front of the grid, 109.7, 110.2, and 110.3. Just about to say there was a battle brewing between P5 and P6, Anand Trivedi and Cody Fowers, but I think that's just because Anand Trivedi took that pit stop just one lap ago and put him in front of Cody Fowers. Now he's trying to escape the clutches of Cody. Lap times 1:12.0 and 1:14.6, so I think Anand can keep it calm, cool, and collected and keep on driving his race without worry about running into Cody again. Keeping an eye on this trio at the front of the grid for just a brief moment longer before we check in with Pete Rader, who's coming around turn 4 right now, Jumpman Tar Heels. Then Anand Trivedi in P5. Cody Fowers in P6. James Shorter in P7. And Matt Chevry running in 8th right now after a brief runoff moment there at the entrance of turn 3. Twisted Jack running in 9th position. And it looks like Matt Chevry should be catching up to James Shorter and making his way to make a move. The Octane Racing team looks like he's standing still at the entrance towards turn 4. And the move is done and dusted pretty aptly. Ryan Earl and Cody Lawrence going after it yet again, down towards turn 4, side by side. Again concluded at the entrance of turn 4 as Cody Lawrence gets one done on Ryan Earl with the helping hand of the drag reduction system. Rear wing of Ryan Earl's Aston Martin, looking back at Jaden Neal in P3. Going for a move up the inside line. He's going to have it done at the entrance of turn 1. Focus and concentration from Cody Lawrence right now. On the front splitter of Cody, looking down the barrel of the gun in towards 4. Jaden Neal running in third for Porsche Penske, 0.6 away from Cody Lawrence in P2. And focus and concentration from Cody. Jaden Neal with clear air behind him runs the fastest of the 3 drivers. That'll be a 1:10.523 compared to a 1:10.7 and a 1:11.0. Cody Lawrence, the meat of the sandwich right now between Ryan Earl and Jaden Neal. About a half second in front of him, half second behind him. Again, no one behind Jaden Neal right now. Pete Rader about 31 seconds adrift on the C3 compound, and Untrabidi is 1.7 seconds away from Rader. 1:10.8, 1:10.7, 1:10.9. Jaden Neal with a little bit of a lockup and a big puff of smoke moving down and towards turn 1. And here's where things get a little bit exciting. Lap traffic giveth, lap traffic taketh away. Cody Lawrence looking for a move up the inside on Earl. Can't find the daylight there at 4. Gonna have to try to make something work at the entrance of turn 1. But now he's got the enemy of Jaden Neal underneath his rear wing right now, 0.3 away. Matt Chevry disqualified and taking a DNF for teleporting to pit lane. That'll be 9th place for him, unfortunately. That promotes Twisted Jack and James Shorter into 7 and 8 right now. It's the second driver we've lost tonight, unfortunately. Leaves just 8 remaining combatants on the grid. Cody Lawrence looking like he's going to go for another move around the outside. At the entrance of turn 1, he is able to get that one done with the DRS wide open. And that'll be the 8th place driver behind them. Ryan Earl looking for an opportunistic move into turn 4. Hot spot for overtaking opportunities right now. You can hear the pinging of the paddle shifters as they slam down 3 gears into towards turn 10. And all 3 drivers come down pit road, nose astern on lap 19 of 47. Cody Fowler is running a very quiet race in P6 right now. He's improved quite a few positions over this event so far. And I'm sure he's happy to collect that haul of points tonight, running the Slipstream Racing team car. Clearly Canadian on the side. Cody Lawrence, Ryan Earl, and Jaden Neal come out together. But Jaden Neal had a much longer pit stop, it would seem, as he's 4 seconds away from Cody Lawrence and Ryan Earl. Cody Fowers comes down pit road. The number 44 driver decides to call it enough on the C3 compound tires. And that'll be his first pit of the race. Ooh, and James Shorter finding the grass there at the exit of turn 12. Gets a point in the right direction, and he's rolling yet again. And there goes Ryan Earl past Cody Lawrence at the entrance of 4. Oh, Cody trying to snap right back at the entrance of turn 5. Without the helping hand of DRS, he's doing a good job. Rear wing of Cody Lawrence. You can just see in the background, barely Jaden Neal, 4.3 seconds adrift. The car that was actually seen was the 7th place car of Cody Fowers, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it was. And Cody is pulled off at turn 10. Hopefully get this car rolling again. Oh, Cody Fowers is stopped on the racetrack now. And he is rolling yet again, keeping an eye on that. Cody Lawrence gets past Ryan Earl one more time at the entrance of turn 1. And this time Ryan Earl is going to try to take the optimum line leading down and towards turn 4. And they're going to invert positions one more time. James Shorter running in 7th for Octane Esports right now. Another driver with a very quiet race. Fastest lap out of Shorter, a 1:11.816. Has taken 1 pit stop so far. Ryan Earl after it again in towards 4. Cody Lawrence falls back. Earl goes forward. James Shorter with a 5-second penalty for cutting the track. Shouldn't affect his race too much now. About 7 seconds in front of Cody Fowers. Keeping an eye on these two troublemakers right now. Cody Lawrence deep to the inside pit wall. With the DRS fully open, gets the move done into World 1 again. This time Ryan Earl couldn't snap back at the entrance towards 4. Biding his time. No! With a huge tank slapper for Ryan Earl. I thought he was just biding his time, but no, he was not. He was actually struggling with the car's grip. Had a huge tank slapper going into 6th. Now he's got Jaden Neal to fight with for P2. Whoa! More big wiggles out of Ryan Earl unintentionally, I believe. He comes down pit road. He's obviously got some damage that he needs to repair there. And hopefully this is not a DNF for Ryan Earl. He is rolling again, so it will not be a DNF for Ryan Earl. He comes out in 5th place right now. Has a lot of ground to make up. That promotes Jaden Neal into P2, Pete Rader into 3rd, Anand Trivedi into 4th. Cody Fowers in the Slipstream Racing team. Running the number 44 now. In 8th place, Anand Trivedi comes down pit road. This will be the 2nd of the night for him. Cody finding a little bit of grass to touch. Add insult to injury. He gets a 5-second penalty for cutting the track after taking that excursion. And Ryan Earl gets past Anand Trivedi, who is down the pit road at the time. C2 compound for Trivedi. I believe he just got past James Shorter. Ryan Earl 1.5, 1.6 up the road. So both drivers on the same strategy per se, but not on the same compounded tires. Tell by the white walled tires, Anand Trivedi is on the harder compound, maybe trying to run it to the end of this event on the C2, while Ryan Earl is on the medium compound and presumably has to take one more stop to make it to the end. Oh, Ryan Earl with a big drift through turn 2. Able to save the car, but those tires have got to be screaming right now. Trivedi licking his lips at the opportunities in front of him now. Twisted Jack in AIEA Racing. Running in P6. Here comes Trevidi barreling down on Ryan Earl at the entrance of turn 1. Ryan Earl's had moves made on him, and he's made moves on folks into turn 1, so I think he knows how to defend that pretty well right now, especially on a driver that's running a slower compound of tire. Although Ryan Earl's last lap around with that drift was a 1:10.5, Trevidi being able to pull out a 1:09.4 on that previous attempt. Second back, coming out of the final corner. That should be close enough for him to make a move to the inside line on Ryan Earl. And he does do so before the start-finish line. That's another move made for Trevidi. Ryan Earl's no slouch at this game, the DRS games. He opens the rear wing wide open and gets past and on Trevidi with relative ease. And you can see from this camera angle, no one behind Trevidi any longer. Ryan Earl gains the position back very quickly. A little bit of a twitch there out of Earl. And Trevidi falls back to around 8/10 of a gap, closing down into towards turn 1 with the helping of the drag reduction system. With the faster cars in a straight line, Trevidi is. Oh, big slap for Ryan Earl coming out of the final corner. Gets the move done, Trevidi does. 108.9 compared to a 109 from Ryan Earl. Again, DRS is open. Ryan Earl makes the move at the entrance towards turn 4. Trevidi tries to squeeze back to Ryan Earl. They're going to go side by side through 5 and now the entrance to 6. Trevidi is now the one with the tank slapper caught in the dirty air of Ryan Earl's vehicle. Gets a 5-second penalty for cutting the track. I wonder if that's going to come into effect here towards the end of this race. Ryan Earl 108.6 puts a new personal best for himself when he gets to the line. Running about a second of a lap quicker 3:16 left to go. I don't think there's enough time for him to make up the 23-second gap. Well, actually, with a 5-second penalty, it will be close getting down to the wire. Here comes Cody Lawrence. Has clear air in front of him, clear air behind him. 7 seconds back to Jaden Neal. Greater than 1 second of a gap to the car in front of him of Ryan Earl. We're hovering around that 1 second mark right now. Will he get the DRS coming out of the final corner? It'll be awfully close if he does or does not. Cody Fowler slowing down to let the leaders through. Jaden Neal. Booster Jack of AIEA Racing coming down pit road for his next stop. Should be his third of the night. Trevidi now glued all over the rear wing of Ryan Earl in front of him. Half a second of the gap measured. Back over to take a look at Twisted Jack and AIEA Racing on lap 6. Trevidi 2/10 back, a 10th back. Can he make a move going down into 1? I don't think so. He's on the optimum line. Falling in single file. There goes James Shorter. He's off at turn 12 and 13. No other cars around him, so he's all clear to rejoin. Octane Esports car running in P7 in front of Cody Fowers by around 18 seconds or so. .109.5 compared to a 110.4 for Cody Lawrence and Jaden Neal. The gap is becoming insurmountable with just 12 laps remaining. Trevidi gets by Earl at the entrance of turn 1. On start-finish straight, but we all know Ryan Earl is going to make a move going down and towards 4. But he's not close enough to make a gap fit for his car's size. Jade Neal comes down pit road, presumably trying to go for the fastest lap of the event. And Pete Rader could lose P3 right now, as Trividi is within 5 seconds of Rader, who is sitting on a 5-second time penalty for cutting the track. (109.2), 109.4 for the pair of drivers that we're watching right now. Slap you with some Interlagos factoids for you. Track length of 2.67 miles or 4.3 kilometers. Track was founded in 1940. 15 corners, 5 to the right, 10 to the left, making this a very unbalanced circuit. Elevation change of 41 meters or 134 feet, located in Sao Paulo, Brazil. The original 1940 layout was a massive 7.96 kilometers or 4.94 miles. Featuring long, sweeping corners. It was shortened to 4.309 kilometers, 2.677 miles in 1990 to meet modern safety standards. Trividi and Earl doing nearly identical laps. Trividi covering off that inside line, not trying to give Earl any advantage, but he tries to go for a move anyways. Trividi did bite a little bit, let off the brakes, ran deep and wide at the exit of 4. Shouldn't compromise him too much now. Some legendary F1 moments at Interlagos in 2008, Lewis Hamilton's last lap championship, and one of the most dramatic F1 moments ever. Hamilton overtook Timo Glock on the final corner of the final lap in the rain to steal the title away from Felipe Massa by just 1 point. Made Hamilton the youngest ever world champion at the time, 23 years old. 2012, Sebastian Vettel's comeback. Vettel was spun around and not warning, dropped to the back of the grid. But he recovered, just like Ryan Earl's trying to recover into 4. P6 securing his 3rd straight title by just 3 points over Fernando Alonso. 1991, Ayrton Senna wins despite a gearbox failure. It was his first Brazilian Grand Prix victory at Interlagos, and a bit heroic to say the least. He lost several gears due to a mechanical failure, but managed to pull off Nigel Mansell for the win. Cody Lawrence might be just as exhausted as Ayrton Senna, being unable to lift his trophy to the podium after this one. All those battling with 8 laps to go has opened up the gap to 8.1 seconds between Rader and Trividi. .108.3 from Cody Lawrence. Might be the fastest lap of the race. Jaden Neal and Cody gonna fight it out for the fastest lap of the event. Bit of a move there towards the inside line from Ryan Earl. Ooh, they're still wheel to wheel right now. Headed down into 6. Trividi on the optimal line. Oh, goes a little deep though. Earl covers it off on the defensive. These two boys need to stop squabbling and try to catch up to the man in P3, Pete Rader, who's 9, almost 10 seconds up the road with a 5-second penalty. 1:07.9 comes out from Cody Lawrence, and that is going to be the fastest lap of the event so far. But who am I to tell racers to stop racing? The action is fierce between Trividi and Earl. 1:10 separating the two drivers. Earl snaps back at 4. Trividi trying to fall in line. Goes to the outside at the entrance of 6. Staying within spitting distance of the car in front of him. Ryan Earl only half a second up the road, if not closer than that. Pete Rader and the Jumpman Tar Heels must be really thrilled with the battling that's going on behind him, leaving him to just run his business on the C4 compound. Trividi and Earl going after it again. Now Earl's got the DRS headed down into 4, one of his favorite overtaking spots right now. And focus and dedication in his eyes. Just 5 laps to go here around Sao Paulo. Two front runners competing for the fastest lap of the event as they're separated by around 6.5 seconds between them. Trividi and Earl still after it, headed down in towards turn 1. Trividi gets the best of Earl. We all know Earl's going to snap back at turn 4. Inside line. Earl says, okay, that's fine. I'll take the optimum racing line to 4. Thank you very much. Trividi runs a little bit wide. Does a 50-50 grind over the curb. Will Trividi snap back at Earl, headed down into 1 this time around. A long way around the outside. Gives a little bit of a squeeze to Earl. But gives the position back almost. Oh, Trividi gets a 5-second penalty for use of the DRS system. You saw the rear wing open up by just a slight amount, and then he closed it right away, but now he is slapped with a 5-second penalty with just 3 laps to go. That is a gut punch if I've ever seen one, but I don't think that's going to stop him from trying to win this one on track alone. Jaden Neal driving the number 6 Porsche Penske. He's got to be very pleased with himself. Started off in 6th position. Might finish the race in P2. Trividi going to the outside line again. Gets the car parked on the apex, blocking off Ryan Earl's attempt. Ryan Earl's going to open up the DRS, move over to the inside line. No, he returns to the racing line and walks right past Trividi again at 4. Ryan Earl with a bit of a wiggle there. Coming out of 10. This is going to give Trividi a really good opportunity into turn 1. And Ryan Earl is actually going to have to take a pit stop now. Or is he going for a fastest lap of the race? I'm not sure he can do a fast lap because we are on the final lap of this event, if I'm not mistaken. The white flag is out and waving, and this is going to be Cody Lawrence's race to throw away, but I don't think he'll do so. After 47 laps around Interlagos, Cody Lawrence in Cadillac Racing will take home P1. He's got to feel good to be back on top after last week's race around Red Bull Ring. Jaden Neal having a mechanical failure of some sort promotes Pete Rader up into P2. Has he ran out of fuel? He must have. Pete Rader, even with a 5-second time penalty, will be in front of Jaden Neal at the very end. Anand Trividi could take home P3. He does find himself on the podium. Cody Lawrence as a new contender, Anand Trividi finding himself up into P3. Jaden Neal still trying to trundle his way down pit road and into his box to get some more fuel, I think. There goes Ryan Earl into P4. Jaden Neal, no. Trividi actually hit with a 10-second time penalty at the end of the race. Should still finish P3. James Shorter with a 5-second time penalty. Cody Fowers with 5 seconds. Oh no, he can't make it up the hill to get to the checkered flag. Oh no, Jaden Neal. Twisted Jack in P6, James Shorter in 7th, Cody Fowers in P8, and Jaden Neal will take that DNF, has to warp to pit lane, disconnecting as he ran out of fuel, if I presume correctly. Super unfortunate stack of events there. But Cody Lawrence will be in P1, Pete Rader in P2, and Trividi will bring home P3. Congratulations to our podium winners. And congratulations to all the drivers that made it to the end, even to Jaden Neal at the end of that one for trying to make it to the end of the event. Just super crazy stack of events for Anand Trividi at the very end there. and everybody having some fun doing donuts across the checkered line there. And Trevi and Pete Rayner having fun doing themselves some burnouts. It's been a pleasure to be your host, as always, week after week. I'm Sagar Bakshi. Have a wonderful night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week for the grand finale at Monza. Have a great night.